After 2 whole years, it wasn't immediately, it took 2 years for the guy to go, oh yeah, there was a guy that can interpret these dreams. It just slipped my mind. And imagine that, for 2 years. 2 more years of Joseph waiting in a prison he didn't deserve to be in. 2 years after the cupbearer promised to remember him. Did he remember him? But no. See, 2 years of silence from heaven's side, but God wasn't late. Joseph wasn't forgotten. He was being prepared for something. There was something about to happen, as we already read, clearly. And so, as cool as when the moment finally came, suddenly, unexpectedly, Pharaoh sent for him. And Joseph cleaned up, changed his clothes, and stood face to face with the most powerful man in that world, I guess, not really in the world. No fear, no arrogance, no bitterness. It was this face to face with this very powerful man. And Joseph said, it is not in me. God will give Pharaoh a favorable answer. He wasn't trying to bolster himself to say, look at me. I'm the one who did it. I mean, it would have made him look more favorable, obviously, and more desirable. Like, we can keep this man around, because he knows a lot. But instead he said, no, it was God. God is the one who revealed it to me. It wasn't myself. This wasn't weakness. It was confidence. Joseph knew exactly who had carried him through prison, betrayal, injustice, and loneliness. That was God. And I think it's really good character that Joseph, even through all of that hardship, he remained faithful to the Lord. He had that relationship with the Lord. I mean, who else was closest to him through all those different trials in his life? It was God who was there for him. And with this, Joseph's hidden years were heaven's preparation room. And what I mean by that is that God often teaches his deepest lessons in unimpressive ways and in places as well. We might go through our mundane life and go, well, this is super boring, this is tiring, I don't want to do this. God is preparing something for you. I've been there. I've done that. I've done that time where I'm going, what am I supposed to do, Lord? I'm just working at this restaurant. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, Lord. I'm doing this to the best of my ability, but it doesn't seem like there's anything coming from it. There's times where God is working on you. You don't realize it. He's working on your patience, your humility. He's working on how you communicate with people, making sure you're polite with them, you're kind to them, and also your heart is in the right place, that you're loving people the correct way. You're showing them the correct thing in the scriptures. See, before God trusts someone with influence, he first builds their character. And how that's going to work, he's got to develop your humility. Because if you're not teachable, he's got to remove that pride to make you teachable. And that's reality. He can still use you. You're just going to be miserable. But that's how he's going to form your faith or their faith, whatever it comes down to. That's how God's going to work it out. And see, he strengthens their dependence on him. That's for those who are willing to allow God to work on them. Because obviously God can decide not to use you. And I think that's worse. Because if you decide, I don't want to be used by God, I mean, God could still use you, obviously, like I said. But if you allow him to work through your life, you can see the fruits of it. Many of God's greatest servants had a hidden season. And what I mean by this is there's a few individuals I'm going to mention. Moses, 40 years in the wilderness. We talked about this a while back, right? He was 40 years. Well, 40 years he was in Egypt. And then 40 years, I thought I heard a sound. 40 years and then in the wilderness. And God was using both of those times to grow him. And then David, years from running from Saul. I would even say even before that, when he was working with the sheep and his family who absolutely hated him, it seemed like. Didn't even remember this guy. Like, oh yeah, the other son that's working in the fields. That good for nothing guy. It just shows you the people God works with. Paul, the years in Arabia. I mean, he was working with all those different people. I mean, imagine this, guys. You got the Pharisees who are constantly trying to kill you. They're going, this guy, he was a part of our group. Now he's turned against us. Now he's become a believer. He's a part of the way. Now we're going to hunt him down and kill him. And so, I mean, Paul went through a lot. And then even Jesus, 30 years before public ministry, he was a carpenter. He was a brother to his own siblings. I mean, he even was a child. He was a child that had to grow up, had to go through all the maturity growing under his parents. I mean, imagine that, 30 years.